Rams house, wake up because our front office is playing a dangerous game with our Super Bowl window right now, and I cannot stay quiet about it. We are standing at a massive crossroads after watching other teams load up while we stayed patient. But I just stumbled upon a move that would absolutely shatter the league's expectations for 2026. This changes everything about our offense under Sean McVay. We are building this tribe together, so hit that subscribe button and help us reach 3,000 fans, and drop your city below because the horns are up and we are hunting. Look, we all know the deal with our Los Angeles Rams right now because we have the best duo in the business with Davante Adams and Puka Nacua tearing defenses apart. But let's be real about the terrifying lack of depth behind them. We watched the front office pass on guys like Mekhi Lemon and KC Conception, and we even sat back while Jalen Jennings signed with the Minnesota Vikings, leaving us wondering if Sean McVay is just going to run 2 tight end sets until the wheels fall off. But here is the explosive truth that is sending shockwaves through the facility, because the perfect solution is staring us right in the face, and his name is Stefon Diggs. Yes, you heard that correctly. The superstar who just carried the New England Patriots offense is currently the missing piece that could turn our offense from great into a total nightmare for the rest of the league. It is absolutely ridiculous to think we can just cruise into training camp with the current roster when a proven separator like Diggs is sitting there waiting for the phone to ring. I know some of you are thinking that he is too old or that he brings too much drama, but listen to the grit this man showed last year while leading the Patriots in every major category. We are talking about a player who has lived in the spotlight and thrived under pressure, which is exactly what this locker room needs when the lights get bright in the playoffs. Imagine trying to guard Davante Adams on one side and Puka Nacua on the other while Stefon Diggs is operating in the slot or burning you deep. Because that is not just a football team. That is a track meet that nobody can stop. Our management is playing a high-stakes game of poker by waiting until after the offseason programs to make a move. But the history of this team shows that Les Snead loves a big splash when the timing is right. Do you actually trust the depth we have right now to carry us if one of our stars goes down? Or are you ready to see Stefon Diggs in those beautiful horns? This is about more than just a signing. It is about sending a message to the entire NFL that we are not here to participate. We are here to take over. The raw truth about Stefon Diggs is that his 2025 season was actually legendary, even if the national media wants to ignore it, because he hauled in 85 receptions for over 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns, while being the only real threat on that New England roster. People want to talk about his age since he is 32 now. But the numbers do not lie, and they tell a story of a master craftsman who still knows exactly how to get open against elite coverage. According to the experts like Matt Bowen over at ESPN, Diggs is the absolute perfect fit for what Sean McVay wants to do, because he is a natural separator who can line up anywhere on the field and survive the physical battle in the middle. Our offense thrives on those in breaking concepts where the receiver has to be tough and precise, and that is exactly where Diggs has built his entire legacy as one of the best in the game. But here is where it gets even crazier for our Rams, because last year Diggs led the entire NFL in success rate on deep targets by catching over 72% of those long balls. We have been missing that vertical space since the days when the offense felt condensed and small, but adding a guy who averaged nearly 20 yards per route on deep passes would blow the roof off the stadium. Think about the pressure that puts on a safety when they have to choose between helping on Puka or tracking Diggs on a post route, because it creates a world of pain for any defensive coordinator trying to game plan against us. He might not have the same elite track speed he had 5 years ago, but his intelligence and his ability to track the ball in the air are still world-class. The New England Patriots only made the Super Bowl because Diggs was there to move the chains when everything else broke down, and now we have the chance to bring that veteran savvy to Los Angeles. They don't want you to know how close this deal actually is to making sense for both sides, but the logic is undeniable when you look at how much we struggled to create explosive plays late in the season. We need a killer on the field, and Stefon Diggs is exactly that. Now we have to have a very honest and painful conversation about what happens if we do not make this move, because the depth behind our starters is looking like a total nightmare right now. We are heading into training camp with guys like Jordan Whittington and Xavier Smith who have had their moments, but are they really the players you want starting an NFC Championship game if luck goes against us? Whittington is going into his 3rd year, and we all love his heart, but he has reached his ceiling as a rotational guy and a special teams player who just does not scare anyone on the outside. Then you look at Konata Mumpfield, who was incredibly inefficient as a rookie, catching only 10 of 25 targets, which is just not going to cut it in this high-powered system. Xavier Smith had some success as a vertical threat last year, but he remains limited in what he can do. And while we are all hoping for a miracle from 6th-round pick CJ Daniels, we cannot bet our entire season on a late-round rookie. This is why the ghost of Demarcus Robinson looms so large over this offseason, because we remember how long it took us to find a reliable third option back in 2023. If we go into 2026 with this current group, we are one injury away from seeing our entire season collapse into a disaster that we cannot recover from. The competition in the NFC is getting faster and stronger every single day, and we cannot afford to be the team that settled for good enough when greatness was available on the market. I am losing my mind thinking about the potential of this offense if we just give Matthew Stafford one more elite weapon to work with, because we know he can make any throw on the field if he has a guy he can trust. Stefon Diggs represents security, and he represents a level of talent that our young guys just have not shown yet. We are talking about the difference between being a playoff team and being a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year. Is the management really going to let this opportunity slip through their fingers while we wait for players who might never develop into starters? I'm going to be totally real with you guys because there is a massive hurdle we have to talk about, and it is the same reason Stefon Diggs ended up leaving the Buffalo Bills a few years ago. He is a guy who wants the ball, and he has always been the number one option. But here in Los Angeles, he would have to accept being the third guy behind Davante and Puka. That is a huge ego check for a superstar who had a 20% target share last season. And we have to wonder if he is truly ready to embrace that we not me mentality that Sean McVay demands from every single player. The last time we saw a target share that high for a third receiver was when Odell Beckham Jr. joined us back in 2021. And we all remember how that ended with a ring and a legendary playoff run. If we can sell Diggs on the idea of being the final piece of a championship puzzle, then this becomes the steal of the century for the Rams. I am seriously losing my mind here thinking about the possibilities because we came so close last year, and falling just short should have left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth. We need players who are hungry for redemption and who are willing to sacrifice their individual stats for the glory of the team. Diggs is 32 years old, and he knows his window to win another ring is closing fast. So maybe he is finally ready to stop worrying about the targets and start focusing on the trophy. It is a gamble and it is a risk to the locker room chemistry, but great teams are built on taking calculated risks that other people are too afraid to touch. I want you to imagine the energy at SoFi Stadium when the announcer calls his name for the first time, because the roar of the crowd would be deafening. We are a family and we are a tribe, and if Diggs wants to be a part of this special journey, he has to come here with his head down and his heart open. This is not about the money, and it is not about the fame anymore. It is about legacy, and it is about finishing what we started. This is the moment where we decide what kind of team we are going to be in 2026, because the pieces are all there, but the puzzle is not quite finished yet. Adding Stefon Diggs on a one-year deal would raise the floor of this entire offense to a level that no other team in the league could match. We have the best coach in the world, and we have a quarterback who is playing some of the most inspired football of his career. So why would we not give them every single tool they need to succeed? The depth behind Adams and Nacua is an uncertainty that could haunt us if we do not act now, but signing a proven vertical threat who leads the league in deep ball success is a move that only a champion makes. I want to see your fire in the comments right now, because I need to know if you are with me on this or if you think I am crazy for wanting another superstar in this room. Is this our year to finally climb back to the top of the mountain, or are we being let down by a front office that is being too cautious with our future? We are chasing 3,000 subscribers, and we need every single one of you to join the Ramily and help us grow this incredible community of die-hard fans. Your voice matters, and your passion is what drives this team forward every single Sunday. So let's make some noise that they can hear all the way at the practice facility. We have been through the highs and the lows together, and I truly believe that the best is yet to come if we just have the courage to make the big moves. It is time to stop playing it safe and start playing to win, because our window will not stay open forever, and we owe it to ourselves to go all in one more time. I am checking the comments every single hour to see what you guys think about this Stefon Diggs situation. Ram it?